Hello and welcome to Let's Ride Around Europe. It's day 21. Yes, 21. That's a bit of a gap from the last episode if you were watching that. And that's because I just spent 3 nights in Vienna and 3 nights in Bratislava. And there's like an hour and a half between them and it wasn't a particularly interesting ride. So here we are. We're on our way from Bratislava to Prague, just leaving Pezinok, just outside Bratislava, and we're going to see what today holds. This bit is going to be a little wiggly. We got some hills to ride through. It's a bit of a detour really from the straight way, but I wanted to do something interesting because I know Prague is all sort of rolling hills and there's not a whole lot of like really interesting roads to take in. It's going to be a little bit like Belgium in that respect. So I guess we're going to be doing a lot of chatting today. But this first bit should be pretty neat. I did have a pretty good time in both cities. Vienna, obviously, I was hanging out with a friend, and then in Bratislava I was hanging out in a hotel. I got to see quite a bit of Bratislava. It's quite a nice city. Got to see a bunch of Vienna. It's a very beautiful city. Bratislava is much more compact than Vienna is. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Vienna's got a very western vibe to it. Bratislava's got a very eastern vibe to it. Much as Austria were non-aligned. Non-aligned just means we get all the stuff from the West and we do Western things, but we don't antagonize the Warsaw Pact. Whereas Bratislava was very much a Warsaw Pact country, or Slovakia, as part of Czechoslovakia rather, was a very was a Warsaw Pact country. It was aligned with the Soviet Union. It was kind of a Soviet puppet state. And so it has that kind of feel to it. It is, of course, quite a long time since those days. Advertisements for motorcycles in this road. I wonder why. Yeah, it's been some time since those days. It was 30 years ago. But you know, it takes a long time for this kind of thing to change. Yeah, I quite like it. As a visitor, I know what it's like to live in. Vienna was very nice. There's a lot of really pretty buildings, as you would expect from a former imperial capital. Had some really impressive cathedral. Some beautiful palaces. And yeah, it was good to get just like, you know, a few days, basically the guts of a week really. Just sort of being off the bike and relaxing and hanging out and seeing stuff and wandering around and being obnoxiously hot. But now I'm just distracting myself from these roads. Ooh. The surface is bad. I do not rate this surface, but gosh, I rate these bends. Difficult to pick a line. You're halfway into the bend and then you're just like, oh, there's a giant patch of repaired tarmac there, or like, that, whatever that is. It's like a pothole with 6 different blobs of tarmac in it. Motorbike stuff on this road. A lot of signs for motorbike dealers. That's a sign for like for a calf, I guess, or a club. It said club, but you never know. Like sometimes cafes call themselves clubs, that kind of thing. So I'm guessing this is a popular motorcycling route. I just picked it on a map because it looked nice. But then again, what motorcyclist doesn't? And we're going to stop at red light. Yeah. How long is this going to hold us up? Is it worth doing a cut? I never know. I never know. Just sort of keep nattering away. That looks okay. Yeah, I just sort of keep nattering away at those lights because I never know how long they're going to last. Those one set of traffic lights in Bratislava that actually had a countdown timer on it. You know, like sometimes you get a pedestrian crossings and they have a countdown timer to tell you when you're going to get to go. They had that, but for the cars. That was cool. I wonder if they get like lots of really impatient people there. I'm guessing this is the motorcycle place that was advertised. Just at the top of this little pass over. Wouldn't mind stopping for like a quick cola or something, but good places to be. My itinerary for today is like 8 hours to Prague. I got out on pretty good time. I was aiming for like 10 o'clock. I think I was actually checked out at 10 on the road by 20 past. That's not bad at all. If I get into Prague at 20 past 6, I will be well impressed. As we know, my schedule is prone to slipping. Just like I'm prone to slipping on yon oil spill. Service your damn car. I'll forgive this road. It's delivering some beautiful curves and some lovely wooded country, shade. I'm not really getting any views, alas. Haven't really been any opportunities through the trees. kind of like a little glimpse of the valley suggests that it's probably pretty nice. Sort of wooded hills. A lot of the land has been sort of parched farmland, mainly vineyards. Or at least they look like vineyards, could be orchards. But trouble identifying the two before. This is pretty cool though. Even if we are stuck behind these guys. And they are going slowly. Doing about 50 k's. That's 30 miles an hour. It's slightly unnecessary. There's just no way of getting around them. Oh, that's really nice. I like the shade. The sun is a little brutal today. I went out to charge my bike the other day without any of the heavy gear on. I just did a t-shirt and leggings, and oh wow, like the sun was one thing, but then like the wind on my arms was oven hot. So yeah, it's a little cooler today, but then that was a bit later in the day, and it was about this temperature around this time of day, so yeah, I think I can expect it to get hotter. Just enjoy the shade while I've got it. It's warning me of something, I don't know what. Oh, the surface. Because it's a little village. And as we know, we're guests in these people's home, and we should behave appropriately. We're not going to blast through their town at high speed. We're not going to make loads of noise. We're not going to act like jerks. We're going to slow down to a reasonable posted speed. And we're just going to cruise quietly through their town so that they can enjoy living in their little community that happens to have an obnoxious road through the middle of it. Here you go. There's a lot of tar snakes. Guessing this road has been repaired a lot. Ugh. Yeah, that surface is bad. don't know if, like, I'm missing the town centre. I guess I probably am. Which is good, you know. You want your town centre to be like a nice square or pedestrianised street where you can just like hang out, not like some awful road. Cars just trying to get from somewhere to somewhere else, roaring through your town. This looks a lot more like what most of our day is going to be like. Yeah, Vienna hung out with my friend. I didn't really know him that well. Went up there, we got to chatting, and turned out we like some similar things. It was pretty cool. He's a marathon runner, and I like to do runs, although I could do a very different kind of running. I do much shorter running. I do like 5Ks, his marathons, which are like 26.5 miles. Amazingly, like his personal best for like a marathon is roughly my pace for like a 5K, which is extraordinary. Like, wow. Like, we're both doing those runs at about 5 minutes a kilometer. My personal best for 5K is a bit better than that. I did 21.5 minutes, which is like 4 minutes 12 or something, 4 minutes 15. But I'm a little bit off that PB, to be honest, these days. But yeah, it was really nice to discover that he was into running, because it meant we went running together a few times. Because one of the things I have with this unreasonable stack of luggage is my actual running shoes. And went for a jog up to like Schönbrunn, whatever it's called. It's like an imperial palace. Nice grounds that are now a park. It's actually really cool. The palace itself is like down in a hollow. Like normally a palace would be up on a hill, but this is down in a hollow. It's a sort of beautiful, I think it's Baroque style palace. And then it's got these beautiful gardens. Extensive gardens, and there's this hill. Oh man, I cannot run up that hill. It was too much for me both times I attempted it. But basically, I got most of the way up, like nearly to the top, and it was like, okay, I'm gonna rest for a minute, and then we'll keep going. But at the top, got this like really big sort of casino thing. Not like a casino in the modern sense, like a casino in the sense of like it's a building that is not a house. It's just like a place that you go to sit and like drink iced tea and look across your gardens at your stately home, that type of thing. but it's on top of the hill, looking down at the palace, which is really interesting. And apparently they were going to build like a mirror image of the palace on top of the hill, and then they ran out of money, which is funny. But the casino is pretty cool. And then, we went into Vienna a couple of times, like checked out the stuff that was there, saw some palaces, an opera house, art gallery from the outside. I don't really have time in a city break to go into museums and art galleries and things. Yeah, I got to eat some bratwurst, 2 different kinds of bratwurst in fact. We looked at some statues, saw the Rat House and the Parliament. I saw the cathedral, which was cool. I already talked about that. It's got this really steep roof that's tiled, and the tiles are all mosaiced, which I thought was really, really cool. I saw some other stuff, some parks. There were some monuments that had a lot of gold leaf on them. There's a statue of a guy on a horse that's particularly notable because it's only got like 2 points where it's supported instead of like a hidden third one. It doesn't have a hidden third one. Saw some nice fountains. As has become second exit, by the way. As has become usual for this trip. A lot of the fountains are turned off, and that's kind of like a thing because it's so hot. Europe's experiencing problems with climate change, shall we say. It's getting very hot in summer. Our summers are getting more extreme. We're having more and more droughts. Second exit. We're having more and more droughts. A lot of places are sort of cutting back on their water usage. So a lot of the fountains are kind of turned off. One of the palaces we went to had a really big pond outside, and it was obviously like down below its normal fill level. They've just not been topping it up. And it's cool that they're doing that. Like, it does kind of suck because fountains in a public place kind of they help cool the air down, which is really good. And yeah, like, you're using a lot of water for it, but if a lot of people are benefiting from that cooler air, it's really good. Yeah, I had a good time in Vienna. I went and looked at the Danube. There's like an island in the middle of the Danube that has like nothing on it. It's just a big park. We watched some people doing water skiing, but without boats. They're like being tugged along by an overhead cable. And I saw someone on one of those like jetboard things. So that was the first. Okay. Is it right turn somewhere bad? I really want to skip traffic, but I don't know. I'm guessing it's just like there where the road goes around to the right normally. Could we have some movement, please? Oh wow. Yeah, he also enjoyed VR. So we spent some more time playing VR games. There was a really good one, Carly and the Reaper Man, where essentially you've got one person playing VR and one person on desktop, but like fulfilling different roles. And that was really enjoyable, actually. I did all the VR stuff and he did all the desktop stuff. Like the person playing VR like picks up boxes and puts it down and makes bridges and stuff for the other player to like platform over. It's a really neat game. Like I've played some VR before, but I think that's the first time I've played like a game like that. Previously I'd played like Alex, Half-Life Alex. Yeah, that was kind of fun. And of course we fursuited a bit because we're furries. What you gonna do? It was very hot though. We had to limit our fursuiting in order to avoid like overheating. Yeah, I had a good time. It's good to like visit friends when you're on tour like this because it does get quite lonely. I think I might talk about that next episode, or at least sometime today anyway. I've got a lot of episodes to film. And it's going to be a lot of this. There's nothing wrong with this. You know, like I said, way back in day 2, 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. You know, sometimes this can be like real chill. If this is what you need, you know. Oh, I think at the moment I kind of would prefer twisties. I've been sitting around enjoying cities for a while. Some excitement would be good. But that's not what this part of the trip is offering up to me. I did try and find some twistier stuff, but there are limits. We will be experiencing some beyond Prague, but today it's mainly just sort of chill flatlands, rolling hills, slow drivers. yeah, that was really enjoyable. Getting around was easy. I bought a stat ticket, which is like a 48-hour use any transport ticket. I don't really ride the bike around in cities at all. I think. It was a good way to get around. Of course, I have my friend with me to make it easier to navigate. Because it's up on a hill, that's why. It's like the only hill for miles around. Slap the church on it. It's quite a chunky one too. This is their main street. It's kind of a depressing main street. I don't mean to, like, speak ill of their little community. It's just, kind of a little, like, I don't want to say unimpressive, but like, I don't know, it's not got much character, I guess. It's just like a plain building with a couple of chairs outside and the remnants of a awning. That's about it. It's a shame. But, you know, I'm sure as time goes by, places will get wealthier, spend a little more money on making the place more beautiful. As long as you don't encroach into the road too much, to keep that standoff so that they can have a little socializing area without it just being on the road, which is basically what you get in the UK in a lot of places. Well, that's kind of different. That's not people building right up to the road. That's the road being the space between the buildings. And as cars became a thing, they just got shoved into that space rather than people saying, well, you know, this is going to have to be pedestrian space. Yeah, you know, I had a good time in Austria, and then I headed over to Bratislava, which is like an hour and a half, not particularly interesting. And this is the Zavod turnoff, and that is the end of the episode. So, if you've you've got stuff to say, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to see it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Check out some of my other videos, you might enjoy them too. If you do, generally speaking, consider subscribing and hit that bell. And if you'd like to reward me for entertaining you today, you can find my coffee link